Welcome to the Wealth Lexicon. Let us decode the language of financial power. In the modern financial lexicon, we use the words rich and wealthy as synonyms. We assume that the man driving the $200,000 car is wealthy. We assume that the executive earning a seven-figure salary is wealthy. But in the strict mechanics of finance, riches and wealthy are not just different, they are often opposites. Rich is a measurement of income and spending. It is visible, loud, and often temporary. Wealth is a measurement of accumulation and restraint. It is hidden, quiet, and permanent. History is filled with examples of the rich who died in poverty, from the Vanderbilts to modern lottery winners. Why does this happen? Because being rich is a function of high income, but being wealthy is a function of not spending it. Today, we are going to dissect the dangerous illusion of riches and the quiet, boring, yet powerful reality of true wealth. In this episode of Wealth Lexicon, we will deconstruct the financial behavior that separates these two groups. First, we will look at the historical context of old monies versus new money and the concept of conspicuous consumption. Second, we will analyze the psychology behind why humans feel the need to display status, even at the cost of their future freedom. Third, we will define the technical difference between the income statement and the balance sheet. And finally, we will discuss how to transition from a high-income earner to a sovereign wealth builder. Please note, this content is for educational purposes only and does not constitute financial advice. Let us begin. To understand the difference, we must look back at the Gilded Age and the history of aristocracy. Historically, true wealth, or old money, was characterized by its invisibility. The wealthy families of 19th century Europe and America viewed capital not as money to be spent, but as a stewardship to be preserved for the next generation. They lived off the interest, never touching the principal. In contrast, the nouveau riches, or new money, were characterized by what sociologist Thorstein Veblen called conspicuous consumption. This was the spending of money specifically to display power to others. In the 17th century, sumptuary laws actually existed to stop the rising merchant class from wearing fabrics or jewelry reserved for the nobility. When those laws disappeared, spending became the only way to signal status. The rich historically focused on the appearance of power. The wealthy focused on the retention of power. The rich man bought a liability to impress strangers. The wealthy man bought an asset to secure his lineage. This historical distinction remains perfectly intact today. The visible markers of success, luxury cars, designer clothes, expansive mansions, are often indicators of money that has left the building, not money that is in the bank. Why do intelligent people fall into the trap of looking rich instead of becoming wealthy? The answer lies in evolutionary psychology. We are social animals wired to seek status within our tribe. In a primitive environment, status meant survival and mating opportunities. In the modern economy, we use money as a proxy for status. This leads to the man in the car paradox. When you see a man driving a Ferrari, you rarely think, man, the guy driving that car is cool. Instead, you think, if I had that car, people would think I am cool. The rich man is trapped on a hedonic treadmill. As his income rises, his desire for validation rises with it. He buys a better house, a better watch, and better vacations. His income is high, but his burn rate is equally high. He is running fast just to stay in the same place. This is a psychological fragility. The wealthy individual, conversely, has suppressed the ego. They understand that wealth is what you do not see. Wealth is the nice cars not purchased, the diamonds not bought, the watches not worn. Wealth is financial assets that haven't yet been converted into the stuff you see. This requires a level of psychological discipline that is rare in a consumerist society. Let us move from psychology to the strict accounting definition. In financial statements, the difference between rich and wealthy is the difference between the income statement and the balance sheet. Being rich is an income statement event. It is determined by the top line, revenue or salary. High-income surgeon or lawyer is rich because a lot of cash flows through their hands every month. However, if that cash flows out as fast as it flows in, their net result is zero. Being wealthy's is a balance sheet. Event. It is determined by net worth, assets minus liabilities. A person with a modest income who saves and invests 50% of their earnings for 30 years is wealthy. They possess solvencies and liquidity. The technical danger of being merely rich is that it relies on active effort. If the high-income earner gets sick, injured, or fired, the flow stops. The lifestyle collapses. The wealthy individual relies on asset yield. If they stop working, the assets continue to produce value. The rich are rich only as long as they work. The wealthy are wealthy even when they sleep. In the modern economy, the illusion of being rich has never been easier to manufacture, and the discipline of being wealthy has never been harder to maintain. We live in an era of easy credit and social media curation. It is possible to lease a luxury lifestyle for a monthly fee that keeps you perpetually broke. We call these individuals Henry's high earners, not rich yet. They have the income of the top 1%, but the balance sheet of the bottom 50%. To apply this lesson today, you must conduct a ruthless audit of your financial life. Are you optimizing for how your life looks to others, or how secure it feels to you? The transition from rich to wealthy requires a shift in identity. You must stop identifying as a consumer and start identifying as a capital allocator. Every dollar is an employee. You can either fire that employee by spending it on a depreciating liability, or you can hire it by investing it in an appreciating asset. The wealthy man hires his money. The rich man fires it. Here is the timeless principle. Riches are a flow. Wealth is a stock. Riches are loud. Wealth is quiet. The goal of financial education is not to teach you how to look wealthy, but how to be wealthy. The most powerful financial position in the world is not having a high salary. It is having the freedom to wake up in the morning and do whatever you want. That is the dividend of true wealth. It is purchased by ignoring the urge to impress others and focusing entirely on the accumulation of productive assets. As you navigate your own financial journey, ask yourself, do you want to be the person who looks like they have money, or the person who actually has it? Thank you for watching Wealth Lexicon. If you value this perspective, subscribe to our archive. This is educational content only and does not constitute financial advice. Investing involves risk. Please do your own research or consult a licensed financial professional. Knowledge without action is poverty. Subscribe to Wealth Lexicon.